Right on.
We are live. We are live. We've been live for 3 seconds. Hello, everybody. This is Wes S. And if I can do this, that's Jeremy with One Wildcrafter.
Hey, everybody.
He's Canadian, and we're going to talk about stuff. We don't have a plan. We were going to try to script this, but we changed our mind.
Yeah, we burned all of our notes.
Yeah, it was cold. And what's the temperature in Canada right now? Well, your part of Canada.
It was 27 degrees Celsius today. So
that's not too bad.
In Fahrenheit, that's 80.
Wow, that's warm. But you're are you more southern or more like north?
I am from Toronto, which is just a little bit north of or maybe I guess it's like east of Detroit. I'm probably 4 hours north of there. I'm on between the 46th and the 47th parallels.
That's almost in the North Pole.
Almost. Our leaves are coming out. Our lilac trees are just starting to blossom. Our dandelions have only been out for a week. My rosebush leaves just opened in the last 3 days. The flowers will be a little while yet. And I have only planted peas in the garden because it's still have a chance of a frost. So I'm waiting a couple days before I put in my tomatoes and other things.
People in South Texas are already harvesting vegetables out of their garden.
I believe it.
Okay, let me do the whole hello thing over here to everybody. We got If Vision Quest, if you're still in there, hello. Keith Kronk, hello. Chipper. Who else? Ted, how's it going? The missus. Hey, Rachel. Hey, Lance. Everybody tell Lance hi. C103, what's going on, Mark? And that's it for right now. We got 5 people in here. It's a slow night. Y'all can feel free to tweet this around, guys.
Put it out there. Maybe I scared everybody off.
Nah. It's Friday night. There, I don't know, is there football or something?
Yeah.
Hockey?
Well, there's nothing to do on a Friday night in Ontario right now because we're still under stay-at-home order. Full lockdown.
We opened up last month sometime, and it's weird. During the whole thing, I never had one problem. And then the other day, somebody asked me to leave their store because I didn't have a mask, and I did because it's their store, so I left.
Even though we have his mask under his chin.
Yeah, the guy at the store asked me to leave, and his mask was down here under his chin. I'm like, yeah. Okay, guys, whatever. And the how many days have you had over 80 so far? Or what?
That's just like 2 in a row probably. So we probably, I think we average like 13 days a year that are over 85 degrees. Something like that. We're in a zone 3B, if you know zones for growing things.
No, I don't. I know Texas has like 3 zones. Basically it's you can plant in January in South Texas. No, actually, I think it's February and March. And then we're supposed to start planting stuff in the ground around April here.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, a lot of people here they've got stuff growing in their house around April, just waiting for the end of May to actually put it in the ground. Unless you're using a greenhouse or some other way of extending your season a bit.
Mr. Rob Painless is on his way home. So,
right on.
Hello, Joshua. I try to say hello to people when they come in the room. I'm not really good at it. That's what the missus is really good at it. And if somebody asks a question, if anybody has a question, a reasonable, civil, serious, helpful, whatever question, feel free to ask it. I don't know. Let's get all the basics out of the way right now, Jeremy. What's your favorite color?
Blue.
Blue? I like blue too. Ford or Chevy?
Toyota.
There you go. I'm liking this already.
I just was car shopping today.
Really?
Yeah, my 14, what's my car? It's 15 years old, and everything's broken. So I was shopping around for a new vehicle.
My daughter has a new Hyundai, and I'm really impressed with that vehicle.
Oh yeah.
As far as cost, warranty, bells and whistles, all that stuff. It's so far so good. The hail bounced off of it better than anything else out there in the yard. So.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we had a bit of hail here the other day too. We get little hail, like I don't know, 1/8 of an inch. It's pretty small stuff.
Y'all still getting flooded out, Chipper? Chipper moved into the non-disclosed location in Arkansas, and they've got some rain, but ever since they got onto his little homestead or whatever, it's like it rains, and then it rains some more, and then it rains some more. And he's lucky he bought on top of the hill, that's for sure. I've been a Toyota fan they can just listen.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Chipper, you and Mark don't have to leave. Y'all just sit in the corner with your little hat on, eat your crayons, and everything's good. No, Chipper can ask good questions sometimes. Hello, Vanessa. Chipper, I have heard you utter the words "yes, ma'am" when speaking to Mrs. Chipper, so that is a false statement. What did
you guys have a pretty low vehicle inventory in Texas right now?
Come tax time, we had a lot of lots go empty, but that's just because they put everything in transit. The lots are filling back up right now.
My dealer doesn't even have a Toyota Tacoma on the lot right now. Yeah, I think he's got one used one or maybe 2 used ones.
You know, the Tacoma lot was really sparse when I was up in Lubbock here a while back. I was actually surprised by that.
Yeah.
And there's no excuse for that because I don't know. I guess if the borders closed at Canada, it would be for y'all. Yeah. But see, Tacomas are made in the USA.
Are they?
Yes. Tacoma and Tundra and whatever that big Nissan and stuff. All Toyota and Nissan pickups are all made in the U.S.
Oh, okay. Oh, the Nissan Titan?
Yeah, Titan. It's made in the U.S. Actually, Texas.
Yeah, it's hard to get a Tacoma right now. Even you can't even get a used one hardly. And for the price that they want for a used one, you'd rather buy a new one, but you can't get a new one.
Oh. Can you get your whole family in a Tacoma? Even a 4-door? Because that's 5 seats, I think.
Yeah, I got 3 kids.
Okay.
So
problem solved.
Yep. Yeah. I'm looking at a RAV4 hybrid.
I don't know about the hybrid. That's what the missus drives, is a 17 RAV4.
Okay.
6 months after we bought it, though, we wish we'd have gone ahead and gone with the Tacoma.
Oh, yeah.
But be aware that after you go to a truck, it makes it really, really hard to live without one. So
hard.
Yeah, I've never owned a truck, but I also haven't ever had to pay gas for one. So
that's the beauty of the Tacoma. Unless you go with, see, the Tacoma I wanted was not going to be fuel efficient.
yeah.
So they have Tacomas out there that are baseline models or whatever. They have a 4-cylinder in them, and they get like 25 miles a gallon on the highway and all that.
Yeah, but that isn't really a truck. Can it do truck things still?
Yeah, it's got the pickup bed, the whole 9 yards. It just doesn't have, you're not going to pull a 2,000-pound trailer at 80 miles an hour down the highway.
Yeah.
But if you're not planning on pulling an RV or a camper trailer or anything like that, you're good. You're good to go. You want to tote your canoe around, you want to pull your light boat, whatever, you can still do that.
Yeah.
Your little pop-up camper, stuff like that. You're just not going to get away. I'll pull a trailer with my little Nissan all the time. I ain't going to get in no race with anybody in it. But everybody I know, including people in the truck, have they have these insanely overpowered vehicles. Granted, one person pulls a fifth wheel, but I need to be quiet right now because I'm actually seriously considering buying a 3/4 ton truck. So
It's a big truck.
yeah, just I actually have a fifth wheel camper that needs a lot of fixing, but if I had a 3/4 ton, I could take it places. So. But the thing is, when you go to the bigger truck, you're looking at zero fuel economy. I wouldn't buy a Tacoma with a V8 in it. To me, that's just ludicrous. You can go with a V6 and get almost the same horsepower.
Yeah.
Retain the fuel efficiency. I wish that they would put the technology that they were putting in the Chrysler 300s in their trucks. Those things those big old cars got insane gas mileage, actually. But they were V8s, but after they got up to highway speed, they shut down and they only ran off of 4 cylinders.
I thought that people weren't too happy with that design, the 8/4s, that they had some problems. I don't know.
The 2 of them that I had dealings with, they never had any issues with.
Oh, yeah.
But, if you didn't instantly go back to power and, they were a little sluggish in the cruise or whatever, when you started going up a hill or something like that. I guess in places where there were more mountains or something like that, it would be more noticeable.
Yeah.
Here in Texas, it's not.
Yeah.
Unless you get down in the hill country, you're not going to notice anything like that. So.
I'm looking forward to when there's all those great electric trucks that they've been talking about, when they all come for real. I'll be interested in something like that. And you have no problems with power on the hills, or looks like Mrs. Wes S is looking for Santa to bring her a mid-80s Bronco. Maybe she hasn't seen the 2021 Broncos yet, though.
She has.
You know how many there are in my town right now? 2021 Broncos, 1.
Seriously?
Yeah, town of 50,000. Big 14.
Well, they're having to hold off production or whatever on them too. Which kind of sucks. And it's not any mid-80s Bronco, Jeremy. It is she wants an 83 to an 85. It needs to have a 300 6-cylinder in it,
So
and it needs to be manual shift.
Oh, okay. Well, there must be a ton of those around.
Oh yeah.
Not up here.
There were actually, it was a really popular model in 83 and 85, but most people took them, pulled the 300 out and put a big block in it and made mudders out of them around here.
So, yeah, our climate isn't nice to cars, so we don't usually see anything lasting that long because of the salt.
Yes, Chipper, yeah, that would do that. Not her Bronco. She had one of those when the kids were little, and dude, that thing would climb hills better than any other Bronco out there. It would climb circles around the Ram Chargers and stuff with the 318s and the 340s and stuff in them. It just whoop them.
And so easy to work on.
It's stupid easy to work on, yeah. It's like the perfect truck. It's like the perfect apocalypse vehicle. And you know, she could toot her little horn and people would just make room in front of her. She liked that part.
I think by the time the apocalypse happens, there won't be any perfect apocalypse vehicles around anymore. They'll all be just like electric, ultra light, impossible to work on.
I don't know. I think, and that's, you know, I had this conversation. So I think by the time they get through making electric vehicles and solar power and battery packs and blah, 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 and blah, 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 they will have killed off so much of the surface of the world that we will have accelerated into the apocalypse, because you can't make the batteries for these things without strip mining hundreds of thousands of hectares of land to get the minerals to make the batteries. So it's not electric is not clean energy. I don't care. Now, I don't agree with this whole, you know, drive what you want because it's what you want thing. I mean, there needs to be a little bit more accountability for people.
Yeah.
But they're going to have to go back and undo a bunch of the laws and stuff. They had vehicles back in the 80s or late 70s, early 80s. They get 40 miles to the gallon. But they can't do that anymore because the same vehicle now weighs 4,000 pounds and it's still only getting, you know, 28 miles to the gallon. Because that's got 4-wheel analog brakes, crash cage, this, that, everything else. You know, they put so much safety stuff into the vehicle that all of the advances in you know, power generation and fuel efficiency disappears in pushing the bigger vehicle around.
Yeah, it's probably a fair trade though.
Average EV battery pack's lifespan is around 200,000 miles.
200,000 miles, and then you got to recycle it.
But you can't recycle.
I thought they said they had cracked the recycling thing.
Not from what I was reading the other day.
Oh, I think
See?
they must,
I don't know.
I think they must be able to recycle those lithium packs.
That article.
Well, I think they can do it. It's just how they do it without like killing people is the thing. And that's
So it lasts almost as long as a Chevy motor.
almost as long as the Chevy motor.
Well, my hybrid vehicle right now is 2006, and the battery pack is still functioning. That's 15 years. Pretty long time.
You're going canoeing in a hybrid? I didn't realize you drove a hybrid, man. But it's weird how from south of the border and north of the border, how different things can be. I believe you can get the RAV4 in 4-wheel drive, can't you? Or you used to be able to.
Yep.
I don't know if it's okay. We just got the 2-wheel drive.
And there's a 4-wheel drive version. You can get a RAV4 gas engine trail model.
How long? Well, yours is a hybrid though. It can basically it's got gas that can charge your batteries and stuff up, and it's kind of like the what do you call it? The Prius or whatever.
Yeah, I think it's the same technology.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disrespect I know we got to do something because I'm ready for them to quit poking holes around me. But the technology is not there. We can't, there's no way we can't switch. And they're pushing so hard to shut down all of these coal-powered power plants and refit them to do renewable energies and stuff. You know where they get the wood pulp from, right? They're going out there and they're clear cutting the forest and grinding up trees and putting them in there to burn.
Well, this battery says it's $5,500. This battery says $15,734.29.
Yeah, I'm not buying one of those.
So it just depends.
That's the if they could crack the storage thing or whatever on the solar, I'd be behind it 100%. But
I think we're almost there.
The downside to it is they're going to put all of this stuff out there that we can't do anything about. And I know that you have to push an industry through, you have to make money off of a thing to increase the amount of money that's spent in research on that thing.
Yeah.
But just like with the windmills, and they started putting those things up everywhere, there are a lot of people out there that are really upset that they didn't do all the paperwork and stuff, and now there's going to be windmill towers, dead, rotting, collapsing windmill towers standing on their property for hundreds of years.
Yeah, we have
because
that problem. Maybe you have this problem in Texas too, but we have like a couple 100,000 decommissioned oil dippers that have never been properly decommissioned. They just kind of are sitting out there.
I saw a video today. Some Canadian dude, he does stealth camping. He camped at one of the abandoned oil places up there. If they open the border up, man, let me go up there. I can have a rig. I can have some roustabouts up there. We will move every bit of that equipment for y'all.
Yeah.
You let me know y'all done with it, and we will put that stuff on the trailer, and we will get it out of y'all's way. And there's a flashlight on my desk. Oh, hey, I found that other ring light, honey. Oh, sorry. I've been looking all over for this. I don't know how to turn it off. There it is. What? It was underneath my little rivet things I bought to put the knife handles on. I didn't look under there.
I think, if you consider how far the technology's come, though, from say like a prepper standpoint, if you're looking at emergency power and the number of devices you can power off of just a few solar panels and maybe a lithium battery backup or anything like that, it's come a long ways, right? You can run super bright LED lights. You can light your whole house with them for a fraction of the power that it would have taken before. You can run cellular phones and walkie-talkies and cordless drills and all those kinds of tools for so much less power than what it used to take. It's amazing.
And see, that's if they would, a lot of it, they're going to have to completely change the way they approach things. I mean, right now everything's so tuned in. There are ways. See, like everybody runs everything in. Everybody's fixated on 110 or 220 or 440 or whatever for household or whatever, but you can run everything in your house off of 24 volts. And it takes less DC power to produce the work needed done than it does AC power. But people don't realize that those split system, those little mini splits that you put in your house, those deals, those are all 24 volt systems. The only thing that's 220 or 110 is the outside stuff. And it pulls nearly no amps as far as workload goes. We got another feller sitting down here in the basement. I'm going to bring him on board. You ready? There's a thumbs up. Here we go. Jeremy, say hello to Rob.
Hey, Rob.
Hey, Jeremy. How are you, bud?
Good.
Wow, his microphone works.
Oh, I was trying to project. Sorry. I was being forceful.
Don't trust me. You project. This is Sir Robert of the North.
Or of the Martian Desert. I forgot to put the Sir on there. I was going to put Sir Rob of the Martian Desert because that feels like where I live lately. Good grief.
Yeah, it's funny. You're like in your backyard filming a massive thunderstorm with tornadoes and hail, and you didn't get any rain, man. How does that happen?
I don't know. I hate it, but I don't know.
And I've checked that supercell is probably one of the most videoed and photoed supercells I've ever seen, man.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I went over to Reese's house and filmed it. And right before I got there, when you get out of town and make that first turn on the dirt road, there were 2 or 3 storm chasers there and a couple more north of his house. Everybody was ready, except me, because I decided to go get a bourbon. I'm like, there probably ain't going to be a tornado. And so we go get a bourbon.
And you missed the ground contact.
Yeah. I want to be more like Jeremy when I grew up and do good videos.
To give this guy, he can't catch a break on it. Have y'all been getting rain up there, Jeremy? In your part of the world?
Yeah, off and on. We're getting enough rain. We're not getting too much. We're not getting too little.
Well, that must be nice.
Yeah, I don't know what to say. I feel bad because it usually doesn't rain down here. And man, we got frogs singing all over the place. We got all kinds of birds I ain't never seen before down here. It is so green, man. I can't go outside. I can't breathe for the pollen.
I gotta believe when life gives you frogs, make frog legs.
Something like that. If they weren't that, there's those little bitty tiny little tree frogs, man.
Oh, yeah, those aren't as good.
That's That's what you want.
We're in 110 this summer, and we have fires everywhere. That's going to suck.
Yeah, there's that. Thanks for bringing that up.
Yeah. We're not going to have to worry about that because there's nothing to burn.
Yeah. That's every time it does this, we have a wet spring. And she's right. The grass will grow up 2 foot tall.
Yeah.
And then it'll come June, it'll die off, and then the whole dadgum county will be, well, all the counties around us will all be on fire. It burned all the way from the other side of Fluvanna nearly into Snyder that one year. Them trees still ain't grown back.
Yeah.
We
Jeremy,
watched,
the last video of Jeremy's I watched was the one where he was out turkey hunting and came up short, kind of like one of my hunts. But you started going to forage a little bit, and I was like, here's something I can get behind. And then I remembered, oh yeah, we don't have any of those things here where I live.
hey man, I got leaks in my plumbing.
Yeah, we're gonna scratch together some dry grass and some pebbles. Make ourselves a little soup out of this.
It'll have plenty of fiber, but be short on taste.
Yeah.
We can get. I could go out right now and I could get some plantains. I could get some pepperweed. The yuccas are fixing to blossom. I waited too long to get the stems.
I did too. Dang it! I took a picture of one. I was going to ask you if it was too late, and then I saw them today, and they're all fuzzed out.
Get them right when they come out of the center, man. When they're still as soon as they make it a foot and a half out of the middle,
yeah,
turn bitter, man. They get the stepipins in them, and you can't stand to eat them. You can eat them; they're not going to hurt you, but you have to cook them first to break them down.
There may be some left up there at that house where we were trying to shoot the sparrows up there where the mailbox is. There's a whole bunch there, and they were just getting going, so I might be able to get back.
But I'm checking every day, and when these blossoms start popping, I'm just going to go out there and start eating them because that way they can't make more seeds.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
They're actually really good, though. The flowers.
They are.
When they first open up, they're sweet, man. They're delicious.
Yeah, if you don't wait until they get soapy, then they're pretty good.
After they're pollinated, as soon as they're ready to make seeds, you don't want to eat them anymore. This is important to note. A lot of people have seen, and it's on almost every foraging forum out there, that you can eat the seeds out of a buffalo gourd, or that you can make a medicinal tea out of the root of the buffalo gourd root, or that the young buffalo gourds themselves, when they're small, can be cut up and eaten like squash. Every one of those statements is false.
I got to believe.
Your tongue has the ability to allow you to swallow any of that. You are superhuman. You might as well try to swallow Tide. Rob could probably eat one.
Maybe. If I had some barbecue sauce.
Okay.
I tried all of it. I went out and I went and I got all the little bitty baby deals and I cut them up. And I was like, whoa. And I tasted it. It was still soapy as all get. I went in and cooked it. It tasted like cooked soap. I went out and got the seeds out, washed them all off, popped them open, ate the kernels. Actually, you know what? The seeds, you can eat the seeds. You can actually get away with eating the seeds. If you've got water where you can wash them and then you can roast them, you can eat them. They're edible.
Okay.
Palatable and edible are two different things.
You get a lot of cactus fruits around you.
Oh man, I love those things.
Roots or fruits?
The fruits.
Fruits.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I spent some time in Grenada. I took a couple of student trips down to Grenada, and we normally would be down there kind of around this time of year, like early May, and got in some cactus fruits there, and like just lots of stuff that obviously doesn't grow up here, coconuts and some good stuff.
This is a nice rosy wine made with cactus berry fruit.
Ah,
Oh, it's so good.
wine may not be entirely accurate.
Okay, so I put a lot of extra sugar in it.
So it's like it's a fruit juice with a little bit of alcohol.
Exactly.
It might be hooch. Okay, fine. I confess, but it's really, really good. It's really, really good. Those, that's the only thing, and I understand cautioning people against eating the seeds until you're sure you can pass them or whatever. Eating the seeds on those cactus berries ain't never caused me no trouble.
Yeah,
but
I spit them all out because they seemed like they were as hard as rocks.
Yeah, leaves me out.
Well, the hackberry fruit, people like pop them in and they'll eat all the fruit off and then they spit the kernel out. I'm like, you just spit out all the fat. I'm like, just threw away the fat and the protein. I ate the whole thing. I mean, it's a little crunchy and a little gritty, but for crying out loud, I mean, eat them. My favorite wild edible in this part of the world, honestly, has to be devil's claw.
Oh,
has to be what?
Devil's claw. You don't like them, Rob?
I can't even. I almost made a bad analogy, but I can't get past the smell, so I'm not going to get them anyway.
Well, no, you don't.
Those things. Oh, those things smell horrible. You can smell one of those stinking things when they're blooming for a mile away, man. It just turn your nose. But I know. I know. Don't need to wait till they. Yeah, I know. I got to try. I haven't manned up enough to try that yet.
I haven't done the okra thing on them yet.
Yeah.
Seriously, they stink. But I'm going to do that this year. I need to go ahead and go out there and plant them. I've got to plant them upwind, though.
Yeah. We're down.
No, I'm not still on vacation. Will. That was just a road trip for Kirsten's birthday. Yeah. There's another video down in the queue that I'm going to upload sometime or another. But I was looking at it, and I think there's some more stuff I want to put in it. So, y'all just have to wait. Rob,
I answered it. I'm on top of things, Mrs. I'm not one of those guys that ignores his chat. This time.
Now that Chili's going to start disagreeing with me.
Yeah.
Anyway, the seeds, if you promise not to plant them, Jeremy, I will send you some seeds. I do not want to be the guy that got these things started in Canada.
Yeah,
that'd be funny.
They're actually they take a lot of heat to grow though, so I don't know if they would ever flourish up there.
No.
I got to believe they would not be compatible with those morels. By the way, are the morels like in full bloom right now all over the place?
It's all right. My internet broke up a little bit there, Rob.
The morels growing everywhere.
Morel mushrooms.
I was picking the early morels a week and a
Yeah.
half, 2 weeks ago. Verpa bohemica. The true morels just started. So I'm
nice.
going to go a couple days to get some. Yeah,
I am so jealous that y'all got those. I've got a buddy from Indiana that used to get them a lot up there. In fact, he'll make a special trip back up there to property he still has just to gather them up.
Nice.
And he doesn't share with me.
No.
But oh well.
I think they cracked the code on them. I think you can buy sport kits now and you can grow your own morels.
Really?
Yeah, somebody was like, maybe that was just a myth that I read, but somebody was apparently supposed to start offering sport kits because they figured out how to do it.
How about that?
Chipper, Mark, did y'all hear that? You can get kits to grow your own morels. Oh. Well, you missed out, Mark. The end.
I've always thought morels were overrated, but
yeah. But before I get completely away from it, the seeds on the devil's claw taste exactly like Brazil nuts.
Oh,
The seeds do. They're just get into them the same way, Rob. They're just. I can't. You. What is that other thing you won't eat? I can't believe there's one other thing that you won't try. What is it?
Oysters.
Not carp. You won't eat carp.
Oh, carp. No, I'm not going to eat a stinking. I'll cook a carp on a board and eat the board, maybe. But good grief.
Carp's good, man.
Yeah, I only tried it once, and I don't think we did it right.
Yeah.
Oh, Chipper, you're never too old for stuff like that. Well,
no, Jeremy, you cooked it right. It's just a carp. We did a lake trip with some friends, and I was pretty liquored up and tried it, and still didn't care for it. So,
yeah, I mean, there's a couple billion people in the world that eat it and like it, so I figure I just didn't do it right. But
no, there's a couple of billion people in the world that are starving and don't have much choice, and so if it gets to that, I'll probably like it too. But I ain't there yet.
The trick to carp is there's a bloody section that runs down the you've got to get that out of there.
Yeah,
and you got to get the fat out. I think probably the piece I had too much fat on it, and that kind of made it nasty too, because it was a great old big honking slob. I mean, this thing was enormous. And I think the bones, Jeremy, my dad talks about when he was a kid back in my dad's 88 years old. And when he was alive at the end of the Depression, and he remembers his people, they would catch carp, but they would pressure can it, like you can stuff in jars. Yep. And then it's like tuna or any other canned fish. The bones cook down to where you can actually eat them and all. So it's highly nutritious, I'm sure. But he said it wasn't bad. They cook them like salmon patties with plenty of seasonings.
Yeah,
carp patties are delicious.
I did that with some suckers, and they were delicious.
Oh, sure. Yeah, I've heard of people doing that. Yeah.
Yeah. So
suckers. Pike is another one.
Eating the carp, then, is you got to get the mud lion out. You got to get the bones out, and then you got to get the meat out, and then you can eat whatever's left.
Yeah.
I guess the difference is if you like fish, you like fish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I love the taste of fish
myself.
So, I don't need salt. I don't need pepper. It doesn't need anything. I hate to admit this, but I ate sushi the other day and liked it.
Oh, heck yeah, man. Sushi and sashimi. Heck yeah.
Oh, I can eat that all day.
Man, for sure. I can't afford it all day, but I like it.
I know that I absolutely love fresh crab.
Yeah, it turns out.
Well, it turns out that's good stuff.
Westhold Forge got it right. Westhold Forge said hunger is a heck of a good sauce, and
yes,
you got that right.
Yeah,
and that's a lot of the problems. What's going on in the world today is there's a lot of people out there that do not know what hunger is.
Yeah, and thank God, but it's one of those things that's a good teacher.
I've been out of Oreos many times, man. I know what hunger is like.
Well, and a lot of people don't know how to eat food without sugar and salt, right?
Yeah.
They only really know those two flavors.
I prefer high fructose corn syrup. So,
you guys aren't close to the coast, right? You guys are pretty far inland,
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
We're closer than Nebraska, but that ain't saying much.
Takes me 9 hours to get to the beach from here.
Okay.
Well, the beach I want to go to, I'm not going to Galveston Island, man. Kiss my butt. I ain't lost nothing down there.
Jeremy, my dad used to say that we're in the middle of the best fishing in the world. We're here where we are. 500 miles any direction to put you right on a good spot.
Pretty much. Ooh, Proctor's full, and the crappie are hitting like crazy, and the gar are running. Just in case you wondered.
Yes, I wasn't, but now I am. Crappie, that's
good.
That's some good fish.
My sister and her husband have started throwing them back.
Jeremy, we don't mean to talk over you, but your sound is not coming in as loud as Wes. Maybe we're Texas guys, and so we're just noisy. But
Yeah, there's
Up.
I'm gonna take it up a notch then.
Yes, we can hear you, honey.
There you go. Let's see how that goes.
All right. He's gonna make us feel bad now.
Maybe.
We're gonna look like we really are, all low tech and stuff. Hey, the sun's still out. Is the sun still out?
How about now?
Oh wow.
Oh yeah, heck yeah.
There we go.
Okay.
Oh
So-
yeah, you're all over it now.
So what happened is my kids basically ruined the phone jack on my laptop.
Blame it on the
but-
kids. That's what I do.
But this is a USB headphones, but they're just kind of bulky, so I don't like to wear them all the time. But
Yeah.
I'll just pretend I'm flying a helicopter, and we're all good.
That's right. I've got the little ear jacks in here that work surprisingly well.
Yeah.
I got these using Marlboro points, and I don't even smoke.
I'm serious. This guy is like, hey man, you got any cigarette packs? I'm like, you don't smoke. And he dives for these things. This little
cruising the streets looking for cigarette papers. Look at them all.
You can't have this one though. It's got my gar scales in it.
Yeah, gar scale.
Oh yeah, look at that.
There are not many chats we're going to go in and somebody says, yeah, I keep my gar scales in my cigarette box.
Hell, I got a whole jar of them back there.
You're gonna make yourself some apocalypse armor out of that?
Wouldn't that be cool?
Honestly, if I can get me a
Stitch them all
couple
together.
more, I'm gonna save if I can get 2 or 3 of them, I'm gonna make me some shoulder pads out of it. I'm gonna leave the skin on. I'm gonna go ahead and make me some shoulder. I just think it'd be cool, man. Just sew it onto my jacket, dude. I mean, come on. It'd take a baseball bat.
Oh,
It'd stand up.
you look like you're straight out of Waterworld.
Yeah, your bones will break, but your shirt's not gonna rip.
Right?
That's the one. Dude, I hit that gar that I shot with that bow. I hit it square on with 45-pound draw and did not go all the way through.
Wow.
Yeah, they're tough, eh?
Yeah. And I was thinking, man, why are these people using these big old compound bows? It's because you need the bow.
I am jonesing to get down to Bob Hansler's and get on the river down there and get that Hawaiian sling that I made and try that out. I'm going to get down in the water with them. With my
Yeah, that sounds fun.
Yeah, my mask and my snorkel. And I'm going to just kind of slither right up to them like I'm another gar and zing them. Maybe.
Isn't that
Or
river?
will run the camera.
It's really muddy, isn't it? You'll have
Yeah.
to be nose to nose with one before you know he's there.
Pretty close, yeah.
And there's a
I'd like
couple of them in
watch
that section
that.
of the river where he wants to do this. There's a couple of them in there that are longer than he is tall.
Jeremy, we
the
were down there.
Alligator.
Yeah, the alligator. We looked out there. We thought we saw a person. We're like, hey, there's some dead dude floating down the river. And that was a gar.
No,
Cigar.
that's a big fish.
For
sure.
Well,
Oh, there's a guy who knows how to make armor.
West Toad, have you ever made armor out of a fish skin? Because we're gonna help you level up here, bud.
Yeah. You probably want the alligator gar for that, right?
I would think so.
That's armor +5 right there.
Yep.
see that? That's one side of the lower jar of a 4.5 foot gar.
Wow. That's crazy, eh?
Yeah. I did
West
not
bought a
go-
gar for
Ouch.
West bought a gar for a catfish one time down there.
Yeah, I did. This is the this is the jaw off of the one I stabbed. Those teeth are like really sharp. You know what's funny? You take this and you walk up to your daughter and you smack her with it. She doesn't think it's funny. I think it's hilarious.
Wes, have you tried to comb your hair with either of those?
I was playing around with it on my beard, and I got in my face a little bit. No, those are sharp, man. Goof, that was the end of my goofing around with that crap. I mean, those literally you lay your finger on it and you're bleeding. They're hypodermic needle sharp.
Yeah, I think we don't get the alligator gars up here, obviously, but we get the gar pike. And
Yeah.
do people fish them with like yarn because it tangles up in their mouth? So instead of trying to set the hook, you just like.
Yeah, when I lived in Colorado, I had a lure that had it had a name like a fuzztail or something. I don't remember what, but yeah, that's how people would. I never caught one with one of those, but yeah, the pike were
Okay.
Yeah, they got to be a close cousin.
Well, that one we figured was close to 9 foot. We've seen a 9 foot, what we believe to be a 9 foot, an 8 foot, and a 7 foot gar.
That's crazy.
And they changed it now. They actually really like you to release the big alligator gar because apparently they do not spawn until they're over like 3 foot long.
Oh yeah.
So if you'll take the small ones and leave the big ones, you wind up with more gar.
The Texas state record is 302 pounds, which was captured in 1953.
Wow. You know, I used to work with a guy, and maybe I believe him now, but he said he grew up down in, I don't know, South Texas, down there somewhere near Corpus or south of that. He said that sometimes they would go out to go fishing, and they'd pull up their vehicle that had a winch on it, and they would literally take like a hay hook and hook a rabbit, you know, a dead rabbit on there, and then roll out a bunch of cable and chunk it out there. And that's how they'd reel them in, just hit the thing on that winch and drag them up on the shore.
Wow. That's like a 50-year-old fish or a 70-year-old fish or something.
Probably.
Get that big.
Yeah. Easily that.
Yep. It's when you realize that some animals out there, it takes them a really long time to get that big. It doesn't make it really easy to let them go, especially when you got a phone and you know that 9 foot gar, he is not going to taste worth a damn.
Good point. Yeah.
Yeah. Just let him go.
Yeah.
But
good point.
You know, he'll probably make 400 or 500 new gar every year, or she, or whatever.
Yeah. By the way, Jeremy, before I forget, I just want to tell you, I think it's awesome that you came on Wes's live stream tonight. This is cool to get a chance to get to know you
thanks.
And hear some of your take on things.
Yeah, I was just thinking, I tuned in, I don't know when that was, but you and Wes were talking away, and I was trying to keep up to you on the chat like crazy, but it's so much nicer to just be chatting live.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, Wes and I get going sometimes, and we absolutely forget to look over at the chat and be like, oh, yeah, there's other people here, too. Have to go
and they'll half the time they're talking about something completely different.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're talking about finding food, and they're talking about cars and who's got the biggest V8 engine or something.
Yeah.
We love them anyway.
Yeah. Like, especially I used to do this, like, go and do all this research. I'd spend like, 8 or 10 hours researching a topic for the live stream. And I'd be over there like, blah, 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 trying to educate people. And look over there and like, yeah, and my kitten's got yellow spots. What am I doing?
Eventually you realize you're just facilitating a group session in like
conversation. I mean, there's half the people don't even have their volume on.
Yeah. They're just here for the chat room.
So we're like, we're done with those guys. Mute.
Hey,
Aaron.
Hey, Aaron, how are you, bud?
Hey,
I don't think that Vision Quest is still here, but he and I had a chat about alligator gar scales being used as arrow tips. Because I guess they're like really durable and really sharp, and you can just arrow and shoot stuff with them.
Neat. This I can demonstrate.
Wes has talked about this many times.
Yeah, can you just grab one in your finger there for us to see?
No, I'm good with that.
So I'll tell you, while you're getting that ready, I had a class at school and I was talking about chert, which is it's basically like the fossilized skeletons of protists from millions of years ago, and they all settle to the ocean floor. They get pressed together, and that's what makes chert and
I didn't realize that.
and flint. And so I had a piece and I knocked a couple of flakes off, and I'm like, they're razor sharp. Anyway, I turned my back on this kid, and doesn't he just slice his palm open because he didn't,
Wow.
he's like, oh, look, it really is sharp. He's got this big gash through the meat of his thumb.
Wow.
Like, thanks, guy.
Jeremy, I didn't realize that. I thought chert was just another igneous rock, like flint or obsidian or something like that.
Yeah, no, it's so there's a couple of protists, like I don't want to get too nerdy, but radiolarians and foraminiferans, and they make calcium or silica shells, and then because they're super numerous and from millions of years ago, and they all settle down in the ocean, they get pressed together in the sediments, and then that's what makes that kind of. Holy, look at it slicing through that paper, eh?
Heck
That-
yeah.
That's what makes that rock.
I was gonna do it with a piece of leather, but I couldn't find one. They're sharp.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So maybe
Yeah, that's
people are just
crazy.
keeping them as like little cutting tools. Maybe not even just for arrowheads, but
No,
keep a
they're
couple of-
like ready-made arrowheads, man. I mean,
Yeah.
this is, if you got a big gar, like I said, this is a 4.5 foot gar. If you got a 5 or a 6 foot gar, it'd be
the scales are
bigger the
bigger
scale.
again. Yeah.
Mhm.
I've seen gar scales that were 2 inches long and over an inch across.
Oh, crazy.
And when they die of old age, they wash up. So
Somewhere.
Yeah.
anyways, and they always, like, the gar will come up whenever the plains would flood, into the rivers and stuff, and then they would get trapped in the pools. It was not that hard to come by gar back in the day. You didn't have to have rod and reel to get these fish.
Yeah. After the floods would go down, they could go into the pools that were left and just net them out or grab them out with a big stick or something.
And that
Yeah.
little, hey T-Board, that little 2 foot,
Hi, Tibor.
foot gar that I got or whatever, that last one, there was enough meat on that guy for 2 people. I literally couldn't eat it all. I tried.
Yeah.
And it's just an insane amount of meat on one of those fish. They're muscle, bone, and mouth. That's all they have.
And scales. I guess that'd fall under bone, wouldn't it?
Mouth on bone, yeah. The way their skeleton is made and stuff, the connecting tissue between their muscle and the scales, when you're taking them off, you're like, wow, this muscle is really, really attached to those scales. The reason they're such powerful swimmers, I think it's almost that outside armor is almost like a skeleton. I mean, I'd really like that. I should do more research on it and stuff. But gar, I'm really fascinated by these beasts now.
Yeah. they're like a living dinosaur, pretty much.
Yeah.
And so basically,
Jeremy,
chert
Yep.
is dead microbes. Is that what you said?
what about what Westhold asked about? You see that?
What about what?
Westhold said he hears that all flint is chert, but not all
but
chert is flint.
I'm not sure about that.
So-
I'm not really like. Where's Vision Quest Outdoors? That guy should be on here, Jay. He would
Yeah,
tell
well,
us
yeah.
all about it.
Jay.
He
You
was
rock-
in
you rock guy?
half an hour early, and then he disappeared.
Oh,
I don't know if I actually have him on my contacts. Let me see. I have his email. I don't know if it's phone.
Yeah, I'm not too sure. I guess I could probably do a little side search here, but I don't want to get too distracted.
yeah, I hear you.
You got some good wind there behind you, Rob. The trees are just shaking like crazy.
Oh man, the wind's been blowing like crazy all day here. Got the dirt blowing again. Got everything. Yeah, it was a typical day here. It
Oh
was,
yeah.
probably wasn't bad. Probably the winds are only like between 20 and 25 miles an hour, but that's fairly average here.
Are you guys neighbors?
About an hour, about 2 hours, hour and a half, 2 hours.
Okay.
2 hours as he drives, 2.5 as I drive. So,
Hey, Adam. Obsidian is good stuff, Aaron. I like obsidian. I love when I find an arrowhead or
Yeah.
an implement or something made out of obsidian. They're cool.
Yeah, it's got a nice look to it, eh?
Yeah.
microcrystalline quartz. What?
Oh, Wes is doing this. He's on a rabbit hole there.
Yeah, he is. Exactly. Squirrel.
Reading about.
Well, Ted's got all this, like, some of these people are Google champions. I am not going to lie. Rachel's real good at it, and Ted, and some of these, you ask a question, and boom, the answer will pop up over in the side chat.
Yeah,
Pretty much. Yeah,
Whether
it might
they-
not be the right answer.
Yeah, but it'll be an answer.
That's right.
Hey, Adam, how's Japan? There.
Oh, there's Vision Quest outdoors. He's
Yeah,
eating
okay.
dinner instead of educating
No,
us
he is
on
here, yeah.
stone.
Right?
Like food's an excuse to miss out on us.
Oh, food. I got to go grab something out of the freezer. I'll be right back.
I am out of beverage.
I'm at a half a can here.
See, I'm not allowed to drink beer in public unless my wife's not here. She mistakenly believes that it causes me to speak boisterously and become overly friendly. I don't know what the deal is, but I can't. Yeah, I can't hold my beer. Can't. I'm like everybody's bestest friend.
Hey, Jay, I don't know if you're scrolling through the chat there, but we were trying to figure out, we were talking about how chert and flint is made by radiolarians and foraminiferans, which are protists from millions of years ago, sinking down into ocean sediments and then becoming chert and flint. And then somebody was asking if all flint is chert, but not all chert is flint, or vice versa. And I said, where are you at? So maybe you can chime in about that.
Various dyes, corn byproduct, and water. Somebody asked what was in my cup. 173 by 29. Damn, that's pretty good. I think it's Evan Williams or something like that. And classic Coca-Cola. I don't know what Flint's made out of. I know that we have a bunch of it around the state. Actually, locally, it's a trick to find it. You can find it down in some of the canyons and stuff.
Oh yeah.
But if you go a little further south, it kind of becomes more prevalent.
Yeah, it's kind of few and far between up here. People traded pretty far for it. Like where there are known deposits, people traded. You can find artifacts hundreds and hundreds of kilometers away from where they originated from a quarry, because people traded it, or they came really a long ways to get it, or
there's in Kent County, it's got a big wash that runs through it it heads over to the Brazos River, but one of the forks of the Brazos River. There's one of the guys he used to own a piece. He owned 40 acres down there, And in the middle of the creek bed on his property, there was a boulder the size of a minivan that was primarily red and white chert.
Oh, that's fun.
And it washed there. And if you go back up the way into one of the cliffs on the side of the wash, mile or so back up the way, you could see where it came from. And you can see the marks where people were beating on this thing to break pieces off. And it wasn't recent. And there's actually one of the points I found when I was younger was white and red, and it was 62 miles to the north in a cotton field.
That's cool.
Whenever they would find something like that, it became big business. And I'm pretty sure that chunk broke off because they were digging around the edges and smacking on it and stuff. I just hope it didn't fall off and kill nobody. I wish he hadn't have sold it because I'd really like to go down there and get some more of it. But he died and his kids sold the property. So I no longer have access to it.
That's too bad. There's lots of church talk in the sidebar here.
I can make a spark off of a lot of things. Everybody's like, oh, you have to have flint and steel. No, you have to have a hard rock and steel.
A piece of quartz rock will work.
A well-fired brick. Rob's daughter proved that to me. A well-fired brick will make a spark. Not as big as flint will, but you can make it happen.
Yeah, because the rock has to be hard enough to knock a piece of the steel off the steel.
Wow. And that's where the heat's actually generated is the molecules pulling apart and on the steel or whatever, the friction or whatever.
Yeah.
And it heats up that little sliver, and that's why you use high carbon steel, because high carbon steel, whenever the metal gets red, then it'll actually explode. And that's what the spark is. The carbon burns up in the steel, and like mild steel, it's carbon steel, but it's mild. You can grind it, and it'll throw these little hot sparks off. But if you take high carbon steel and do the same thing, the sparks will fly off, and then when they get a couple inches away from the grinder, they'll actually pop like a bottle rocket.
Oh, okay.
And that's the one really easy way to know if you've got mild steel or carbon steel, high carbon.
Yeah.
Steel.
Rob's back. We should stop talking about him.
Yeah, I figured. Yeah.
He'll have to come back and he'll have to watch an hour and 8 minutes.
I got it. Yeah. Yeah.
Find out what we said.
I'm gonna look and see where we are. I can fast forward to it.
Westfold, the pink point that I found, I traded it to a girl for a kiss.
That was a good trade.
It was a good trade.
Yeah, I can't fault you for that. I've given up a lot more for a lot less.
She sure was pretty. I'm gonna say that.
Carol, what message? Anytime Carol puts a message up and retracts it, I want to know what it is.
If you the quartzite, the white quartzite or whatever, you can get 2 decent sized rocks. You can smack those 2 together and they'll make spark.
Yeah.
A 6-pound chunk of a blue obsidian. Holy cow!
When I was tree planting, one of the guys, and I've seen it where you put your shovel in the ground, you're planting trees, and if you hit a rock, sometimes you'll see a spark come off your shovel. And one guy was working close to an old burn pile, and the spark actually ignited
Wow.
some of the charcoal that was sitting there, and he had to put it out. He ended up starting a fire with his shovel by accident.
How about that?
There's a lot of people that can watch. I'm going to open this, and this isn't going to be the right one. So I have a couple of char tins. One of them is char cloth, which is this one, and then I have one that's just like charred twigs and stuff like that.
Okay.
It's actually easier to start a fire with the tin with the twigs and stuff in it.
Yep.
You just hit the sparks into the tin. Boom. Whatever catches on fire, then you put your stuff on top of it, blow it into flames, put it over there and put the lid on it, and then you just add to your char tin every time.
Okay.
You never run out of char cloth that way.
Yeah.
It's like it makes the most sense ever. This is this is church.
Carol is bragging. She says she lives near a flint quarry. Carol lives near one of the most famous flint quarries for Indian flint gathering in the world, actually.
Is that place where Fred used to work? What?
I don't know.
That bedrock quarry?
So if anybody wants to know whether they're beside a flint quarry or a chert quarry, all they have to do is get about a 3-pound sample, mail it to Vision Quest Outdoors, and then he'll email you back and he'll tell you what it is.
You're right.
Yeah. Right, Jay?
Alligator's flint quarry is near where Carol lives.
Cool.
Alligator's friend. I don't know if it's Alligates or Alligator's. I've always said Alligator's. I don't know which is right, but it's really pretty flint.
Official thing.
Yeah,
Makes
we don't
beautiful
really have
arrowheads. Go ahead.
I just was going to say we don't have any in my area, although somebody told me that there is an ochre mine nearby and also a quartz crystal, and I don't know how common it was for people to work with quartz crystal, but I guess you use what you've got, and if that's what's nearby, then maybe that's what you use.
I don't think quartz can be knapped down into as fine a good of an edge as flint and chert.
Yeah.
And even jasper, yeah.
What's jasper?
Thanks.
It is.
Night.
It's kind of a not as when you bust it up, it's not as smooth, but it's still, you can still make points and edges out of it. I want to figure out what that is down there when I go down to my buddies down at Merkle, just south of West there. There's a ridge over there that is just littered with flint, but it's not the high quality brown flint or Alligator's flint, but it is a good. Hey, look at y'all! Look at y'all! And I didn't bring one.
I got this from Vision Quest. Actually,
same here.
Wow.
Well,
thank you. It was nice seeing everybody.
He paid it forward to me, so
I gutted a deer with this knife.
Sweet.
I cut my steak the other day with it. But that's been it. I was just wondering, is this one flint or something else? Vision Quest. I don't know. It's really sharp. Don't feel wrong with it.
Yeah. Don't fool around with it. It's I forget what the material is. It's not easy to work with, though, I don't think.
It looks kind of like chalcedony, but I don't think it is.
I have he said what it was. There's a video. He made it in a video, but I was thinking about going and getting the pile of rocks I have back there and showing him what I'm going to mail him eventually. There's some stuff I picked up when I was down there at Junction. Dude, you go to Junction, you go around to the county park, not the city park, you go around to the county park. And you just walk in there and it's just like rocks like this big, and you crack them open and they're flint.
Wow.
There's gray flint and white flint, and it's all kinds of rocks.
Carol, I don't know. We've got a lot of meat in our freezer, so we rarely ever buy any meat. But I would guess it's about the same as where you are.
You're welcome, Abe. How's the price of beef, Rob?
Don't know. That's what I was just telling Carol.
I was reading. I can't listen. You read it.
I told her we've got a couple of freezers full of meat, so we don't really go buy meat. So I don't know.
I have a bunch of seashells in my car. Dude, nobody had been to the beach for weeks because of the storm, whatever.
Yeah.
They're playing everywhere. You know, usually you go to the beach and somebody's already walked around and picked up all the seashells.
Uh-huh.
There were little conch shells and snail shells and clam shells and there was everything, man.
Nice. Nice.
There was yellow ones and purple ones and blue ones and white ones. Sorry, Westfold. And we got that one rock around here that you can break it and you can chip it or whatever, but it's really almost like sandstone but harder, man. I don't know what Somebody said you could put it in the fire and get it really, really hot and that it would work after that, but I don't know.
I don't know. Worth a try, I guess. Carol, I don't believe you. You went to get a steak and it wasn't expensive? I bet it was. But I liked it. I liked the idea that it wasn't.
We were actually we went to Brian's the other day and ate, and the steaks didn't taste right.
Really?
They weren't bad, but they weren't as good as they always are. It's almost like they weren't aged right or something.
Maybe he's just so busy that day.
You know, that's possible. Because, they were, you couldn't go in there for a while.
Yeah, being Mother's Day and all.
And then they opened back up. But I think it was aged beef. You have to cook it when it's ready or throw it out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't leave it in the fridge a couple of days until you're ready to eat it. When you thaw it out, you eat it.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's going to be really aged.
Mm-hmm. And I love aged beef. That's just, I love aged anything. It's just kind of tricky to age venison.
I have overaged venison before. You can still eat it, but it was strong.
Yes. I was marinating some strips of venison so I could make some jerky one time. And then something happened, and then something else happened, and I come home and I found this bag of stuff in the back of the fridge. I'm like, I took it out. I literally, there was no strips anymore.
Yeah.
The marinade I'd put in there had dissolved completely. I'm like, I believe I left that in there too long, and I am not opening that bag to find out.
Yeah. I did that once, left some hanging too long. And you could eat it, but it was like, the English, Abe, you may speak to this. The English will hang a pheasant until you think it's rotten, and then they'll eat it. And that's kind of the way this venison was. I ate some of it, and I could learn to like it, but wasn't really...
The wife went dove hunting today and hung a bird for, I don't know, 8 or 9 hours. She made me get it out and clean it when she got home. She took it out with a Toyota.
And
she said, I didn't know what to do. She was driving down the road, and she said the bird just
whack feathers
straight down, got down on the road and flew straight into the car.
Uh-huh.
Man. It broke through the grill.
Oh, wow.
So
Y'all
it
are
did-
having heck of bad luck with cars lately.
I have no idea. I can't get anybody to call me back with a quote for my windshield on my truck. I'm like, please tell me I can get that windshield. Man, I don't want to have to order one out and have it take however long to get here. And
I am looking up a guy's name.
Sorry, man. What were you gonna say?
Well, Jeremy's back, so I can't say it now.
Oh,
Damn it! It was gonna be good here.
Sorry. No, what I was going to say was I've got a friend that used to do windshields here, and he's living down in the Dallas area, but I'm going to contact him and see if he has his windshield guy connection up here. I'll just ask him.
Well, y'all got
I got
your part of the world too, didn't you? Didn't you?
us.
Yeah.
We didn't. Leveland got a bunch of little pea-sized hail, but it was nothing to get excited about. That's all I know of.
Well, our stuff was this size.
Yeah.
This is just a ball of sheep's wool, though. It's not hail. This would have been okay. This could have fell on the house all day long.
Wes, how many windshields do you need replaced right now?
Well, we're all going to replace two.
We're only going to. Well, I don't know. I'm gonna try to get them to replace yours.
How many do you have? I'm going to tell them you have as many as 3, 4, whatever it is.
3.
We're not
Okay.
doing 3.
We're not going to do the others.
No, I won't mention
now I
that
have
yet.
to come up with a windshield for a classic 1978 Toyota pickup, but that's not going to happen now.
I type slowly when I text. I type Columbus method. That means I find a key and land on it.
Okay. That's the way I type too, only I type just like Columbus when he's like searching for the East Indies.
Uh-huh.
I find the West Indies. That's funny. I thought that was funny. You know, there was a group of guys that shipwrecked in on the Gulf Coast, and they had to live with cannibals.
I didn't realize my mic was still turned off. That was dumb.
I wondered why you weren't saying anything.
My last joke was the West Indies or the West Indies. I was just laughing to myself. I'm like, when
That's
nobody
good.
else liked it, and then I looked at I'm on mute. Oh, come on.
But I chased that rabbit all the while and found out that a good deal of the people that lived on the Gulf Coast, the Indian tribes down there, were cannibals. I'm like,
oh yeah.
Cool.
The Tonks were bad, and the Karanka was a little bit, but the Tonks, they were
they
the
wouldn't
bad
get
boys.
you were their friend though.
Yeah.
They had to like kill you in battle or capture you in battle or something like that.
Yeah.
They weren't eating you just for food.
I was about to say that. It was an honor and to get your strength kind of thing.
Do what, man? Vision rhyolite.
Yeah.
Paleodanes used quartz crystal, but y'all.
Yeah, I wonder.
Paleo Indians.
Indians, yes. Good job.
I wonder how old the quartz quarry is near me. Probably pretty old.
I would guess.
I'll be right back. I think I already showed in this moment. Anyway, y'all talk and entertain the masses.
I always get nervous when Wes says he's going to show us something.
Yeah.
Jeremy, you're in Ontario?
Yes.
Is that central or more eastern?
More central. Yep.
North of Minnesota, maybe?
No. North of Indiana, north of New York, north of
Okay.
a little bit west of
Oh.
Vermont.
Yeah, that to me that seems eastern. To me, western is Saskatchewan and Alberta.
Oh, well, you said Ontario, so within Ontario, if you subdivide Ontario, I would say I'm in central Ontario.
I got you now. I got you.
Yeah.
Okay.
But eastern Canada.
Got you. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. The big reveal.
This is some stuff I picked up down there at what did I say? Junction.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Oh, cool.
Man, I don't know what it is. It makes sparks though.
I think it's a rock.
This is sharp, and it came out of the ground like this. Oh,
Ooh, Wes, I think that's an Indian lovestone.
really? I'll just keep rubbing on it now.
No, not rubstone, lovestone. Indian lovestone.
I didn't know what it is. Somebody was like knocking pieces off of it though. I mean, my camera won't show it. Anyway, this is anyway, this is some of the stuff I'm gonna send Vision Quest. Sounds really cool though. This one don't sound like that though.
Sorry, something happened at my end here.
This, I knocked a piece of this off. This makes really pretty sparks.
Yeah.
But I suck at flint knapping, so.
Jeremy, Vision Quest asked if you're doing a garden this year, a wild garden.
I tried to do a chat.
Uh-oh.
I jumped into the.
We lost-
kind of napping, honey.
Then I had.
We
to
lost your microphone.
That was good. Wes is
Jeremy,
making some ad revenue.
Where'd your microphone go, Jeremy?
Am I not connected right now?
You're connected, but we can barely hear you again.
Oh, I don't know. Oh,
Aha.
there's the microphone. It was
Yeah,
up in my hair.
It's amazing.
It's my hair was trying to tell you a story. Oops. Because I had to move it so I could blow my nose. Sometimes I have to lift it up so I can drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really do wild gardening. I do have a garden this year. I'll be doing a lot of foraging, but not like a wild garden. Gonna sneeze.
Jeremy,
Was in right.
Wow, that was so full of the COVID.
yeah. Jeremy, are you out in the country, or I haven't watched a lot of your videos, so I wasn't completely sure. That's a good one. That was better.
I am out in the country.
Okay, nice.
There's a lot of crown land near me, and my parents own a pretty sizable property right close by to me, and so I have lots of play space.
What'd you call it? Crowdland?
Oh, crown, yeah. So it's like public land.
Oh, sure, yeah, of course.
So like our version of state land.
Yep.
But it's crown land because the Queen still has a stake in it.
Yep. Yeah, that's handy. That's nice to be out on the edge like that.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It's like millions of acres of
With
crown land.
trees and water on it, Rob.
Trees and water and fish and moose.
I call bullcrap. There's no such thing.
I think we did this. I think we did this before when you guys were chatting. I jumped on and I looked up your county on Google Earth, and I was like, "There's nothing there. It's all sand." And if you pull up my hometown, you'll be like, "It's all green. It's all forest and lakes."
Yeah, exactly. Jeremy, are you familiar with Colorado very much at all? The state of Colorado?
No, I know where it is on a map, and I was across the border in Alberta from Colorado, but
No, that'd be across the border from Montana. But
Colorado
yeah,
doesn't.
Yeah.
Colorado doesn't butt up against Canada.
it does not. Colorado from Canada, from the Canadian border in Alberta, you would go through Montana and then Wyoming and then into Colorado.
Oh, it's way southern than.
Yeah, it's almost dead square in the middle. I used to live in Colorado. I lived there for about 20 years, and I lived up in the mountains. Yeah, it was. I lived at about 10,000 feet when I was there.
Oh, that's
and
fun.
So I did used to be aware of trees and rivers and lakes and things like that, but no longer.
Yeah, once upon a time.
Yeah.
So where's Glacier National Park?
Glacier National. That's in Montana.
That's in I thought it was in Colorado, but like
No.
yeah, okay, I see.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're still like
and it is
staying
it
away.
borders right up to the Canadian border pretty much.
Yeah, it borders
Western.
Saskatchewan and
Yeah.
and Alberta. Yeah, I see that now.
Yeah. That glacier probably touches the eastern edge of British Columbia, maybe.
Okay.
Oh, British Columbia, that's some pretty country.
Yeah, I did a drive through there for a couple days, and that's it. I haven't spent a lot of time out there.
Yeah. When we were living in Colorado, my wife and I, the year we got married, we drove from where we lived in Colorado up through Canada and into and all around Alaska. And there was some beautiful country up there. I loved the people in Western Canada. They were just like Texas people, except with a different accent.
Yep. So in Ontario, we consider Western the prairie provinces to be like Americans.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. Yeah, they were great.
And beautiful country. So I ended up. I worked for a summer like north of Alberta in the Northwest Territories.
Yeah, that's some great country.
It's pretty empty up there.
Yes, it is. I love it.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Bump in here in a minute. The Beaumont resident has been MIA for a while. He stepped in and said hello.
Hey, de Beaumont.
And he wants to know if you are going to do anything with the wooded bridgeman this year, Jeremy.
Yeah. So like in Ontario, we've been under a provincial lockdown for it feels like a lot of the year. So we did do a little bit of hanging out together, and we're making plans. I was talking to him earlier today, so we will be doing. I don't know if I can give anything away, but we'll probably be doing a beaver trapping episode, maybe some coyote hunting, and maybe some other things. So we got plans.
I should have known, get you two guys together. All y'all go try to do is find some beaver.
Yeah.
Wes, what we need to do is get Jeremy and Woodbeard down and take them over into the canyons and stuff of eastern New Mexico, over there just outside of Artesia, back in there in the Guadalupe, and get them in the middle of we can do a big desert survival thing.
I would love to go down there.
Finding the whole trick of finding water, that adds a whole new element when you don't have water at your disposal. If you have to go find up a little spot at the bottom of the canyon somewhere.
Make me climb rocks. Why are you always doing that?
Because it'd be fun to watch.
There's that. He doesn't. I mean, every time we've done something like that so far, I'm the guy down in the bottom with the camera going, "What? Hey, what are you doing there?" You realize if you fall, it's going on the internet, right?
Yeah. You'll be famous. Go ahead.
I mean, I'll dial 911 later, but first you're going all the way along.
Yeah, I've never been south of Virginia, so that would be a pretty big adventure for me.
Oh yeah, that would.
Well,
heck yeah.
I've been in the Caribbean a little bit, but
well, that don't count.
No.
Brandon, don't know what your last name is. Any encounters with mountain lions in Texas? In Texas, it's a very rare thing not to bump into a cougar somewhere.
Yeah, we've got them up here for sure. My girls, and I think Wes may know this story, but Brandon, my daughters, when they were, I don't know, younger teenage years, were out. After a church thing, we're out at a friend's house just a little bit north of me, and we have what we call the draw. And for us, a draw is a low spot that at one time, long time ago, was a big riverbed. And we know it used to have lots of water in it because all along the edge of it, we can find places where the Indians used to camp and that kind of thing. But it doesn't have any water in it now. But they were down in the draw and literally jumped up a cougar mountain lion down there one day. Kind of startled them, took them by surprise. We knew they were here, but none of us had really ever seen one. But even since then, several of my friends have seen them around here.
The
kind of cool, but they're hard on young calves.
You know that Lee found cougar footprints when we were down there in South Texas?
I'm not surprised.
30 or 40 yards from where we were hammocked up.
Sweet.
So, yay.
Yeah, make a good blanket out of one of their skins.
Yeah. And then we've got a canyon. What's about crow flies 27, 28 miles. It's called Cougar Canyon. We had a big cat stealing people's exotic birds a couple of years ago. The guy had rhea. He was raising rhea or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And well, yeah. Apparently they're really, when they're in a fence, they're real easy for a cougar to kill.
I don't know what that is.
It's an oversized Australian chicken.
Okay.
But an undersized emu. Apparently the rhea eyeball and the human eyeball are close enough together that they were doing research to see if they could transplant bird eyeballs into humans, and the guy was going to be ready to be rich, and then the cat ate all his birds. So,
I hate when that happens.
gotta watch it, man.
I shouldn't laugh. That kind of stuff has happened. You think you're
It's
fixing
like-
to do good, and you don't.
The guy put
Yeah.
2.5 years of work into it, man, and then boom, the cat found his birds, and that was it.
Yeah.
Each one was valued at $20,000.
Wow. I hope he had them insured at least a little bit.
I don't know.
I'd be surprised.
I know he started with 6 birds and wound up with 9.
Jeez. Ugh. Sounds like an
We
RV
started
park
with
I can
2,
think of.
got up to 6 because apparently it's not that easy to get them to hatch out in this part of the world. And, but you know, had it paid off, each bird, because I think each eye would have gone for like 60 grand. So it was a good investment if it had to work out.
Just thinking, maybe if you hadn't plucked their eyeballs out, they would have had a better chance of avoiding that cougar. He had 6 rheas and 5 eyeballs. Bunch of blind birds.
It's funny, but you know, I know people that they'd pay $60,000 to walk around with one working eyeball. I know people that would, and that's just for the eyeball. You know, $160,000 to be able to see again. Sign me up.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think that the deal was trying to make it work to where they could redo all they had to do was get past the nerve thing or whatever. But yeah, there's the whole comes back into that stem cell stuff. So.
Yeah.
Anyways.
That happens.
Jason is 26 and 33. Makes me no, you're not a cougar.
I think she
can't
is.
use the right word there for that, but anyway.
So moving right along, Jeremy, what you got on the burner for next? What's your next big cool thing?
The next big cool thing, I'm not sure. I got a lot of little things on the go. I don't know if I got any big things. Like I'm working on my master's degree right now, so that's been taking up a lot of time, and trying to do a big garden and some chickens. I just got out of maple syrup season.
I'm
looking at doing
jealous.
some. Yeah, it's a good time of year. I'm looking at doing a couple trips with the Wooded Beardsmen, maybe a fly-in fishing trip, and maybe some stuff down at his small cabin, some of that beaver trapping.
Sure.
Yeah, a bunch of different things.
Boy, that fishing makes me think of when we went to Alaska, up in the Yukon. We got into some great fishing up in the Yukon territory.
Oh, I bet.
There. There was some cool. There's fish I'd never even heard of before. And
yeah.
Most of them. There was a fish. I think it was grayling was one of the first ones I remember the most. Boy, those were good eating. Man, fun to catch.
Yeah. So one of my memories from working up there is that I was there for 2 months. So I think I had like 1 day off where we didn't actually work. So we all went on this big hike and we got to a creek where they were grayling, and I had like a survival fishing kit, like literally just a couple of hooks, a little bit of line, and we were fishing with like 3 feet of line on twigs and grasshoppers or houseflies or deer flies, whatever was around. And we caught 1 grayling for every person in the camp, and then we took them all home and ate them up, and it was so much fun.
Heck yeah. Yeah, we just that was the good thing. The trip that my wife and I did, we had no time schedule, and it literally was about a 2.5 month trip by the time we got home.
That trip you and Woodbeard did, that flying trip y'all did up there, north
in Red Lake.
That is on my bucket list. I mean, it's never going to happen, but that is one of my main bucket list things to do.
It might happen.
Beautiful area.
Probably. It might, but somebody's going to have to paddle a boat. I can't see, because I don't know what does a trip like that cost. I mean, it's
depends on what kind of gas mileage you get.
Right now, I'm looking at $800 just to fly up there.
Ooh,
$800 to fly up there. Well, that probably. Where does that get you? To Toronto?
Yeah, it gets me to Canada, and that I round trip ticket is $800.
Yeah, so you probably $800 gets you to Toronto. You'd have to fly Toronto to Thunder Bay, which would be another 300 or 400, I guess. I'm not sure. And then you have to drive another 6 hours north, or you have to arrange for them to pick you up 6 or 8 hours north from there. And then there's 2 options. You can either get dropped off by a float plane, which is a little more expensive, or they can drive you into like a drive-in drop-off, and then you're in Woodland Caribou Provincial Park.
And then get in a boat and paddle across to wherever you want to be.
Yeah, so and then it depends. Like, obviously, you're not bringing your own canoe because you can't fly from Texas with one. So you're going to look at a canoe rental. And
we're not flying, Jeremy. We're going to drive.
We're not driving to Canada.
We'll split the gas.
Well, Wes has a 5th wheel. Just bring the 5th wheel up.
Heck yeah.
Hotel on wheels.
Have a vehicle that is going to survive the border crossing.
I feel like my pickup will make it.
You have to leave half of the weight home. They have rules up there.
The only rules they have is certain types of firearms, and you can't bring. They want to sell you the alcohol when you get there, so you can't bring too much of that.
Yeah, and if I can't take my sword, why go?
I think you can actually. I think you're okay with swords.
With a sword?
Yeah.
Hey, you can bring a sword. You can bring your gun too. You just got to do the licensing for it. You can't bring a pistol, probably.
You can't bring a pistol, and you can't bring certain types of semi-automatic firearms, but like a boat gun or shotguns, they were okay with that.
Yeah.
I don't have any of those.
You don't need them anyway.
Yeah, right.
Everybody's polite up here.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure the moose aren't very polite.
I don't know anybody who's had to shoot one in self-defense.
Trust me, that would be my story. He was coming right at me.
He was coming right at us.
Yeah. And then once he was dead, I figured it'd be a dishonor not to eat him.
Exactly.
I showed him my little ribbon, my diaper pin, but he just wouldn't stop. I didn't have no choice.
Jeremy, what are you drinking, Jeremy?
It's Strongbow.
I don't know what that is.
It's like a cider from England.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I'm drinking cider from Tennessee.
Nice.
I'm going to have some of this disgusting wine.
Disgusting wine.
Yeah,
Is that
it's
that
not.
cactus
I've been able
flower
to feel
juice?
my forehead all day. There's no reason to continue.
I forgot that did that to you.
This stuff will erase your forehead, dude. What is it? What? I can't see any of the comments that aren't approved. Hold on. Be right back.
Trudeau is there, Joe Biden.
Yeah. That's, hey, man, watch out. You're talking about Jeremy's man there.
Uh-oh, Jeremy, are you a Trudeau man?
Am I what?
A Trudeau man.
A what man?
That
Trudeau.
y'all's
Justin Trudeau.
Trudeau.
or whatever he
Oh
is.
yeah, he and Trudeau and I are like this.
I might have known.
This stuff is so scary because it's like you're not drinking anything with alcohol in it.
Yeah.
How do you guys even know who Trudeau is down in Texas?
We're men of the world, Jeremy. We stay up on stuff.
You can't.
Yeah. Yeah, I was sitting there. If we were going to go, if all three of us, now, I probably shouldn't tell. I do this every time we have a live stream. I'm going to quit having live streams.
I know you're not.
I'm looking at my screen here, and we've got the college professor, and we've got the world traveler down here, and then we've got Wes over here in the corner. I'm like, which one of us is the dumbass? And yeah, and hey, I can hear you, honey. Oh, Sister Kate. Hey, how's it going? Hey, Christy.
Hi, Kate. And Christy. Wait, Christy Jennings. Rebar Junkies. Christy, yeah. Whoa.
How's life in the Ozarks there, Sister Kate?
I lost my chat. Wait, where'd it go? Sorry. There it is. Got it. Hooples. Jeremy, do you know who Hooples' cat is?
No, I don't.
Oh, man, I figured y'all barbecue together, I swear.
Yeah.
And if you get the chance to have a barbecue with Hoople's cat, Jeremy, it's $100 Canadian. I'll give you $100 Canadian to punch him right in the nose for me.
We'll give you. We like Hooples, but we'll give you a whole bag of toonies just to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We are a world traveler. You know what toonies are.
This stuff. Rainy, wet, and more rainy. How's your garden doing, Sister Kate?
No, Sister Kate, you do not get to come on here and brag about how much rain you got because that's just rude.
Shut up, Mr. Desert.
I know. I'm gonna get a camel. I'm gonna get a camel and a.
You need a camel.
Start a camel farm.
Maybe we're gonna need it pretty soon if we don't get some rain.
Maybe you can get a camel and a bunch of rheas, and it'll keep your rheas safe.
As long as I don't cut their eyes out.
Yeah.
I can't. Every time I hear the word Rhea, I'm going to picture these birds walking around bumping into trees and.
Yeah. No, it's fine. When they have their babies still have eyes. So
they just won't be able to take care of them.
It's like a sustainable harvest.
You throw the feed out there to the birds, and the mama Rhea is sitting there trying to eat, and she just keeps kicking the babies in the head. Sorry.
They just find people with donor cards, and they put human eyeballs back in the rheas.
See, she's already making. Is your garden already making? Or
Oh, she is bragging, isn't she?
Well, come on, they started way early. They're serious about the homesteading, man.
It's been too cold. It's just now warm enough we can grow something here.
You know the mesquites have just now put on blooms. Ooh, I have got to. If the blooms are any indication of the beans, do you want some?
Yeah.
Okay.
Chrissy asked a question.
Christy's
I
call me junkies on purpose.
Is my answer not showed up there yet? Wow.
Rob
That's a
says,
lag.
yes, I did, Christy.
LOL.
LOL.
Lol. Lol.
Lol. What is, man, I only drank one glass, for crying out loud.
You'll catch up.
I'm not drinking anymore. I forgot about that's. I do. Okay. Jeremy, how to cook cactus wine. Rule 1. Put the appropriate amount of honey in it, and that's it. Do not say, okay, well, it says this much honey. I wonder if we double that amount with Cairo syrup. And then upon the behoost of internet research, we realized that if you put half of a cup of rice in the bottom of it, it gives more food for the yeast to interact with.
I bet it would.
And then you come out with this super smooth, sweet stuff that I don't have any way of checking the proof on. No. Yeah. Don't do that. Just do the honey and the cactus berry juice and just let it ride.
That's no fun.
I don't have any cactus berries, so
We'll hook you up.
yeah.
Hook you up. Are you getting any? Do y'all have any prickly pear up there, Rob? That survived the drought yet?
Yeah. Yeah. There's over at Amherst there at the old folks home, there is just like 6 large beds of it. And then there's several others I know of.
I bet that.
And they're going to be good. They're going to be good down at Merkel pretty quick too, because when I was down there shooting those pigs the other day, I was eyeballing them hard, but I didn't see any that were ripe yet. If I get back up there in about a week, I think I'll be good.
Did you get some pigs?
Yeah, I got a couple.
Nice. I'd like to go shoot some wild pigs.
Come on
Sometimes
down.
it seems like it's like shooting fish in a barrel, and sometimes it seems like it's the hardest thing in the world.
It depends on where you are. They can be tough. Now, down in South Texas, where they got a lot more brush, it's, and they can kind of go running up on them. It's a little easier, but, out in here.
Unless you miss every time you shoot at one, I'm just saying.
Well,
that first one was not my fault. I hate the camera angle on that when Chris was videoing. For starters, the way his camera works, it looks like it's broad daylight. And from where I was at, the pig wasn't looking straight at it. Was like a little sideways, and I thought I was aiming at his shoulder. And there's a knot sticking out on that tree, and I hit the knot. And if you're watching in slow motion, I have the video, the high def video that I can watch in slow mo. You can actually see the wood splinters go into the animal's face, and he runs off. And he looks like a porcupine slapped him in the face. No dead hog though.
No. Next time.
You can see where the bullet it hit that tree and angled up. It actually hits the tree about 10 yards away from him. It goes just right over his shoulder blade.
There we go.
Well, that sucks.
Somebody's asking me about temps in my area, so we're at. Oh, there's one. Nice. That's a big one.
Yeah, that was a good one. Then
it's about 80 degrees Fahrenheit here today. Sister Kate.
I'm sorry, sister. It's Rob's fault. Rob always makes things buffer.
Oops. Hang on, let me figure out the right spot here. Golly, stupid camera. Ah.
Nice. So that's 2 different guns and 2 different photos?
Yeah. That's one of the things about Texas.
In Canada.
I can't imagine one gun. One gun, that's like one wife. That's uncivilized. That's a movie line.
Yeah. Well, I've got one or 2 firearms within hand's reach of me right now.
I actually don't. How did that? No, I do. Yeah, I do.
I got everything
with that.
Everything I need right here.
There you go.
Okay. But that's because everybody's polite up there.
Yeah, pretty much.
I want to go all gun with this. I really, really, really do.
Yeah.
I just do, okay? Because that would be a blast.
Hey, Wes, Jeremy's a lot of fun. You got to have him on here more often.
I like Jeremy. He's like a mislocated Texan or something. I don't know.
Dang near.
He,
Northern Texas.
yeah, he's from
Way north Texas.
Way north.
Yep.
Extreme northern Texas. That's like we usually just refer to Canada as northern Michigan.
Yeah. I've heard that before.
I wouldn't want to call y'all northern Minnesota because those people from Minnesota are kind of weird. Eh? They are, man. I love people from Minnesota. They're wild. We had a girl that played darts with us all the time, and she was from Minnesota. And it was so much fun whenever she'd get a little bit tight and she'd start talking, and you're just like, keep talking, you sound funny. And then kind of find out she was like some military something or whatever, right? And then we realized she could like kill us all in our sleep, so we quit.
So I wonder where the polite zone wears off. Is it somewhere in central Michigan or central Minnesota, down in Iowa, maybe?
I like
Or
Iowa.
not?
Iowa's like flat, and then it's not, and then it's flat again.
You know what Iowa stands for, don't you? IOWA?
Mm-mm.
Y'all really don't know this?
No.
It stands for idiots out wandering around.
Wow.
I learned it from Iowegians, which is what they call themselves, while I was in Colorado.
Iowegians?
That apparently is a real word. That Wes was exactly my reaction first time I heard that.
I always ask them, so what is somebody from Iowa? And they never would tell me, and now I know why.
Yeah?
We're Iowegians. Iowatsons. Geez, Willikers.
Is that where Riverbend Longbows is in Iowa?
I don't know. I don't think so, but it might be now that you say that. I really thought he was Indiana or Ohio, but I don't know.
Indiana.
I don't know. He's not in Indiana or Ohio. I think he's in Iowa.
Wow. I got to ask him if he's an Iowegian now.
Yeah.
I can't wait to do that.
He's been keeping it under wraps.
Yeah. No surprise, huh?
Yes, Sister Kate. Rob is in Texas. He's in, he's almost in Oklahoma.
Well, I'm almost in New Mexico.
Almost in New Mexico, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
That's the only problem with extreme western Texas is that it's daggum close to New Mexico.
Yeah, we get plenty of New Mexicans coming across here too, escaping the occupied territory, getting in the free land.
Take like about 200 more miles of New Mexico and tell them, okay, now we're going to live by Texas rules. Mm-hmm. Just go like straight up from El Paso to Denver and with a straight line and say, okay, now that's going to be Texas now, and y'all have to quit acting like that.
That used to be Texas. Texas used to go all the way up into the central mountains of Colorado before some politicians screwed that all up.
Yeah.
So
that's why Denver and all that's so pretty and stuff, because it used to be Texas.
Ray's in Eddyville, IA. Is IA Iowa or is that Indiana?
IA is Iowa, I think. IN is Indiana, I think.
Okay, then he's in Iowa. He's an Iowegian.
Yes, he is.
We also flood him with messages now.
Great.
Jeremy, you're her favorite or their favorite.
Yeah. Do you know Brenda Benal?
Yep. Oh, where's Brenda? Hey, Brenda.
She's here.
Sorry, I wasn't watching the chat. I was looking at Ray's YouTube channel.
Trying to figure out if he was an Iowegian or Indiana.
So he is an Iowegian?
He's an Iowegian.
Yes, he is. We can't wait to tell him that now.
Yeah.
He's gonna have to like go to one of those like what do you call it? Intervention groups, and he goes riverbend longboat and
Yeah.
Hmm?
Tell him he's out of the closet now.
Yeah. They have strawberries in Iowa, wild ones. I like that part.
It'd be nice.
I think they were
Yeah.
strawberries. We were eating them.
We get a good crop of them here, probably in maybe in a week or two.
One of the things I miss from Colorado is the wild raspberries. There were raspberries everywhere up there, and boy, they were great.
Yeah, here too.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, we get a good crop of those too.
I need to check. Remind me to check my blackberry and see if it survived. Forgot about that. One of my apple trees died. I'm very sad.
Huh. We've had a bunch of trees die up here. No surprise. And we've had some of them that died that I don't know why they died, because like that big elm tree that's out there by the chicken pen, that thing gets plenty of water because I run the water in what used to be the duck pond all the time, so it shouldn't have a problem. And yet it's just barely alive. I don't know if a couple of those late freezes we got may have hurt them. I didn't think freezes really hurt the Chinese elms, but they're hurting.
These have a expiration date, dude.
No, these ain't that old. One of them is that one by the shop. That thing was just ancient, and so I'm not surprised it died. But some of the other ones, it's weird. Of course, all the ones right up next to the house there on that west wall are doing fine. That's the ones I'd be okay if they died. I need to cut them, but I hate to cut them because they provide some shade and some like a windbreak kind of to keep the sand from sandblasting the side of the house off. But
Rob,
no, Aaron, Aaron, this is the land of the tough. You got to figure it out yourself. I'm not wasting water on trees. I'd rather have no trees than for my well to run out of water. And that's a possible thing here.
Ants in Middle Earth, lady ants in Middle Earth, is because they kept going by Rob's house asking for a drink of water.
Yeah.
And they all died of thirst somewhere down the road from his house.
Because I told him to move on down.
The Beaumont resident. I started my tepin peppers. What are tepin peppers?
Tapines, chili tapines.
Oh.
Yeah. We call them chili pequins, but I think that's what they are.
Okay, yeah, I love those. Mine died.
Yeah.
I never have luck.
It was coming back, but somebody might not have forgot to water it. I left it at Rob's house too long.
Yeah,
Jeremy, too. Just saying.
I would guess any kind of a garden. When I lived in Breckenridge, of course, like I said, it was 10,000 feet. Growing season was short. I mean, sometimes the growing season was only about 30 days there.
Yeah, we have a pretty short season. Like this isn't typical, but like I remember a year we had a killing frost in every month of the summer. So
I have seen that.
That makes it tough.
Yeah, when I was there, we got 6 inches of snow in the middle of July one time.
Oh wow, yeah.
I think that's a reason there's a lot of what do you call it? The diets are regional because I mean you can't grow okra in the north. I mean you need the growing season for it.
Yeah.
I mean you can get a little bit to grow up there, but
if you've got a short growing season, where are you? Dude, you ain't in Beaumont. I don't know where you are now. Do you know Wes?
Texas. He's that other Beaumont.
I don't know what other Beaumont there is.
I think it's like Michigan or something.
Oh. Well, yeah. That would make sense. Aaron says he's buffering. I'm not seeing it. Wes once or twice has buffered for me, but not bad.
Oh yeah, I've had a bad connection, but I think that's just me.
Maybe so. I've actually had a great connection tonight, oddly enough.
Yeah, your camera's coming in clearer than my camera or Wes's camera, I would say.
New Hampshire.
That's even further north than Michigan.
Yeah, he's up there by Bug Out Brad. We don't plant in Revelstoke. Okay, until the last weekend. Hey, sometimes that's us too, Tim. For farmers here in this part of the world, they have crop insurance, and they're not required to have their seeds in the ground to qualify for the insurance until May the 30th, or they call it May the 35th because they can kind of sneak it in a little bit late. But that's sometimes that's how long it takes for the ground temperatures, the soil temperatures to get warm enough for the seeds to actually sprout. And so we're further behind the curve. We know some people in Lubbock that have had to replant some of their stuff 3 times now because the cold weather keeps killing it.
Wow.
It's been unseasonably cool this year down here.
Thank
I'm
God.
not complaining, but
Yeah.
and that's everybody thinks I'm joking. I'm not joking. I'm betting on the ice age. Pretty soon, all them people from Canada going to be knocking on that northern border and be like, "Nah, y'all wouldn't let us go fishing."
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
payback, eh?
Wouldn't let us bring our pistols in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do I, baby?
You can come south, but you can't bring your toonies.
Yeah.
You leave them up north. And your Trudeaus. No toonies, no Trudeaus.
Yeah, for sure that.
Leave them up there.
Mrs. S says that it's gonna probably gonna rain for 2 weeks down here. Next 2 weeks.
Damn it. How come that ain't right?
Well, we have several chances over the next week. Just get you a couple of trailers and put some tubs on them and drive them down here, Rob. I'll let you
I
go.
should.
You got a water hose, man? We'll just roll water hoses. People see us on the side of the road. They're like, "What are you doing?" We're putting in an irrigation system. Every 300 yards, we got a little 1 horsepower pump out there.
Yeah.
We're going to driving back and forth, putting gas in them little bastards.
We're gonna need about a 10 horse when we get this side of post.
Ooh, yeah, we got to make that hill.
Yeah, we got to get up the Cap Rock.
Well,
Everything's up in grade.
I'm an hour ahead of you guys, and I think Wes is trying to set a record tonight, but I don't think I can hang in there that long, guys.
Jeremy, you have no idea. Don't even suggest that.
I did tell the man if he agreed to come into our stream that whenever he got ready to go, we would not give him any grief.
Yes, that is understandable. We don't want to ruin him on the first one.
I mean, he is from northern Texas.
Yeah,
that's right.
And I'm a time zone ahead of you, so it's late here.
Yep.
Oh, it's 11 o'clock where you are, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. But I would for sure join another one.
Heck yeah.
I like talking with you guys.
Heck yeah. It's a good time, eh?
Yeah.
Hey, Rob's talking Canadian.
Heck yeah, man.
If you let me know whenever you want to jump in here and we'll make it happen. Like I said, I live stream entirely too much. I really, really do. I'm addicted to this stupid little blue light up here. I can't.
Oh yeah, it's fun to do. It really is. That live stream we did last week with for Anna's birthday, that was freaking great, man.
Also, I'm so glad that was on your channel. This man over here, he's got different rules, and it got so crazy over there. It was a blast, though.
Yeah, it was. Anna got out of hand. She was great.
Or maybe I'll crash a live stream one time. When I catch you live streaming, I'll just bug you for the link. I'll just keep messaging you. Hey, send me the link. Send me the link. StreamYard.
Jeremy, look, I'm going to put my email up there.
This guy's not scared. He does this. He'll throw.
I'll put my phone number on there too. I'm going to email first.
Just the email because he doesn't have international calling. He's in.
Or just send it to me through Wes if you don't want any of these sketchy people in the side chat knowing how to get a hold of you.
Yeah, I'm pretty worried about that.
Looks like a sketchy crowd.
Email, man. That's scary. Like the next thing you know, that Mrs. West person will be like emailing you all the time with like insurance offers and stuff.
Go get a pen out, Jeremy, because there they come. Anybody else that doesn't have it, put it on there too. Here's the thing: if you call me the first time and I don't know who you are, I'm not going to answer it. But leave me a message, and then I'll know who you are.
Yeah.
And then you'll be in. after that.
Or you can use that whenever you're applying for a loan or
Yeah, need to file a quick claim deed.
thanks to whoever did that, by the way. You're funny.
No, I'm not, Jeremy. I'm not. That number is my business number, and so only about 1,000 people have it already. So
Okay, yeah.
big whoop. It's a big secret.
Yep. All right.
I thought I was special.
You are special, Wes. You are special, brother.
You just broke Wes's heart.
Well, hi, Mark. Mark Chase.
Anyhow, yeah, Jerry, anytime you want to come in, if you see we're on live, you got some time or whatever, you let us know in the deal, and boom, all I got to do is click this little man with the plus sign stuck to his neck over here, and
Yeah.
send it to you. Or I can put the link in the chat, and it's up to me who gets in here. I don't have to pull a kill deer survival thing. That's no. A friend of ours had a live stream, and somebody jumped in. He was like, "Oh." And he let him in, and as soon as he did, the guy stood up and showed everybody his business. Dude, he didn't really want to see it, Rob. It wasn't that impressive. I don't know why he was so proud of it. But anyway, anything we can do to help you, Jeremy, you let us know. We really appreciate you coming by.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thanks a lot, guys.
It's been a blast. Everybody, if you're not sub to this man's channel,
yeah, for sure. He's got some cool stuff on there.
You're just not keeping right. It's just the way it is.
Yeah, I'm trying to get something out every week, but busy days.
Yeah,
looks like I'm picking up a few phone numbers in the chat here.
We're all one big happy family here.
Yeah. Yeah. Seems like it. Cool. All right. Well, enjoy the rest of the evening, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one.
All right.
For sure.
Later,
all right.
Jack.
Hope you get that rain you're looking for.
Myself, brother. Myself. Cheers.
Okay. Cheers.
All right, Rob.
I like it.
The helm. I have to get rid of coffee and stuff.
Got to go pay the rent, huh?
I got to go pay the rent, yeah.
I understand. But Sister Kate now. Oh man. Yeah, that was good. Yeah, I've watched some of Jeremy's videos. Not as many as I should have because I only found out about him here lately. Hey Yankee Watchdog, how are you, bud? Jeremy's got some pretty cool stuff. Got some pretty good videos out there. He fits in with this crowd here pretty well, I should think, and especially after having gotten to spend some time with him here tonight. That was awesome that he came on Wes's channel and did some of that. Uh-oh, now wait a minute. Glad someone got what? I feel like I missed something. I got to go back and look. Oh, Christy, I see it now. You're a jerk. I get it now. Ha, 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 ha. I just wrote it down and I didn't sing it to myself. That's good. That's not the first, just so you know, that's not the first time I've fallen for that. I'm going to scratch it out. Like on The Quiet Man, when the guy, I can't think of his name. He'd have somebody write their name down. Now scratch it out. But he didn't want to do it.
What are we scratching people's names out for?
Well, I'm scratching Christy Jenkins out. Miss Rebar Junkies herself. She played a joke. I fell for it.
Did you? Hard.
Yeah, pretty much. Man clued us in. Thank you, Christy. Back at you. Carol, stop it. Don't be ashamed. If you put a message in there, leave it.
It's just a misspelled word, Rob. Calm down.
And Mrs. West doesn't know anybody that what?
Doesn't know anybody that what, babe?
I said nobody types perfect. I'm always putting misspelled things in the chat.
Yeah. She said she never reads the things that I type because they're perfect.
It may not be an exact quote.
I was typing in somebody's stream earlier, and how did I spell miracle?
I don't even.
That wasn't even close.
Oh, Wes, I don't know what's going on, man, but I've caught myself, I've always been a little bit dyslexic, but lately I have been typing dyslexic. I did something the other day, and I looked down, and I had typed 2 words absolutely backwards. And I don't even know how you can do that. But I looked at him and I was like, that doesn't make any sense. What the? And then realized I typed them backwards. I'm like,
for whatever
what
reason,
the heck?
Mirrical.
That's pretty close. That sounds right.
But I mean, I know how to.
Across the street that worked on our well, that's pretty close to how you spell his name.
Yeah, that's miracle.
Oh yeah.
That's how you spell.
And because I was thinking about him the other day, I still don't understand what's going on with the way he did that. I got to get a hold of him. It's annoying. Because I know I owe that man a lot more money than that.
And Rachel, pardon that. I haven't noticed you spelling anything dyslexic. Oh, hi, Vanessa. Vanessa's back. Vanessa VK.
Thank you, Mark.
Mark, it was good to see you, bud. Glad you came in.
Mark
is always one of the guys that adds a little touch of class to a live stream.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
It's really I like it when people like Jeremy come in. Jeremy is a very intelligent individual.
No doubt. Yeah.
He's got a pretty, he's not a saint or anything, but he's got a pretty high moral character. I mean, he puts a lot of time and energy and research. He's really careful about putting information out there that's not right.
Uh-huh.
And I like that about him.
Yeah, and still was able to dumb himself down enough to hang out with you and me. So that's
there you go. Nothing like humbling whenever you got a guy, college professor saying I always hang out with people that are smarter than me, so that
except you missed the boat with me though, but you and I are pretty much evenly matched on that kind of stuff. We each know stuff that the other one doesn't, and we each have to. The other one says it, and we're like, okay, I don't know, so I guess I'll go with that. That sounds good.
Anyway, what did I miss? Was there any thread that we missed over here when we were laughing so hard?
I don't think so. I think Mrs. would have clued us in if there was, but I think we've touched on most everything. Mark touched on the grand solar minimum maybe coming around. That's a pretty cool. I made a joke. That's a pretty cool subject.
And I think the grand solar minimum's already started. It's just a matter of whether or not it's going to last like the one guy says, or if it's going to go away like the other guy says.
I think we're in solar minimum, but not grand solar minimum yet. I think we're going to be in a lower thing, but I think we still got at least 1, maybe 2 more solar cycles to go through before we hit grand solar minimum. But I don't know.
I don't know. We got all this stuff that's going on right now. You got the actual polarity of the sun, the swapped a few months ago.
Which that happens that actually happens regularly.
Yeah,
the sun, because you can watch the phi angle.
But there hasn't been a black spot on the sun for how long now?
I mean, there's a coronal hole that's there, but it just went across. The sun rotates as we watch it. It sits there and constantly rotates.
Each time there's a mass coronal ejection or whatever, it leaves a dot.
Oh, not for very long. They come. Yeah, they come and go all the time.
But that's how you tell when the sun's hot. Is there's more? It has more dots, and it's not making any dots.
Yeah, it actually has. There's been 2 or 3 CMEs here just in the last few days. It's starting to fire up again. and get active. The sun had been inactive for a pretty good while now. It's an interesting thing about the sun. Part of what recharges the Earth's capacitor, if you will, is the CMEs that fire off the sun. CMEs and filament releases. They send a plasma to us that kind of hits our I've had too much bourbon. Our
Magnosphere.
pretty much, yeah. That there's a name I was looking for, but it basically recharges the Earth and helps us to keep our shield strong. But that hadn't been happening, and our shield is really weak right now. It's on the tip of my tongue, but it is. Oh yeah, when the sun's hot, Christy said.
Icky.
But what has been happening is we have not been keeping our shield charged up good. And so now even relatively minor flares and minor filament releases are affecting us a little bit harder. They're sending our magnetic telemetry, if you will, into crazier realms recently. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I think we're not quite there, and I don't even remember what solar cycle we're on right now. 20 solar cycle 26, maybe. I may be wrong about that. But by the time we get the next
ice core samples, we're looking at, I think it's like every 750 years or something like that. There's a actual long minimum or something. And I'll probably get my years off.
No, that's about right. And then about every 12,000 years, 12 to 15,000 years, they're seeing evidence of a massive
cool down.
Cool down and just catastrophe, like something really bad happening. One of the things that's going on right now too is the galactic wave that is coming, and they're seeing that has been speculated for a while, but they're starting to see evidence of it now because Uranus and Pluto and Neptune are all showing some signs of reversal. And I'm thinking they're even sensing that one of those planets has stopped and is rotating the other direction now. Don't quote me on that one. And it may just be the magnetic field of the planet's changed. But there's some weird things happening, and so we may be starting to see some of the first effects of a 12,000 year catastrophe cycle.
Is that what I'm, wondering? It would really suck for the world if Canada down to Iowa was covered in ice.
Yeah,
and they couldn't grow corn anymore, or soybean or anything.
That would be a drag for sure.
That would suck. Because with all that moisture trapped up there, guess what doesn't fall anywhere else? Rain. Everybody looks like Rob's house.
Wow. You don't want that. I promise.
So there's still debate as to whether or not that's what took out the what's the right word for them? They don't like to be called pueblos.
Oh, Pueblos is okay. Anasazi is what they don't like to be called. Now, ancient Puebloan or Puebloan ancestors, I can't remember what they want to be called. Ancient Puebloan ancestors, I think, is the new politically correct. I want to say Anasazi because
whatever. The people that were like first they were growing ears of corn this big, and then they were growing ears of corn this big, and then they disappeared. I really think it was one of the mini ice ages.
Yeah, there's a strong chance of that for sure.
The timeline's right. It just quit raining in Texas and New Mexico.
There was a mini ice age about the time that the people settled in Jamestown, the 1600s, and they think that mini ice age may be one of the things that made it so hard for them because they didn't have the growing season that they needed. The temperatures were just wrong. I'm going to put a name of a channel here, Suspicious Observers. And if you'll notice, the O in observers is the number 0 rather than the letter O. And so everybody that's not already subscribed to that, and he does, Ben Davidson is his name. He's wicked smart, and he does about a 5 to 7 minute report every morning that talks about what the sun is doing and some things that they're seeing out in space, some things that are happening on Earth. Just some really cool stuff. And he doesn't go in for the bullcrap fear stuff. He posts stuff that he can back up a little bit. So worth it. 1806, that's right, Yankee Watchdog, the year without a summer, they say. I mean, there was, but it wasn't a summer like we think of as summer.
Anyway, I went to Suspicious Observer. If you don't know what they're talking about, you don't know what they're talking about. Just
just watch it. So, man, when I got there, I had to watch it for 3 or 4 months before I finally started catching on and figuring out some of the things were going on, and it makes sense. But once you know, you know. Who was it up there mentioned our Yankee Watchdog? I think it was, maybe, or Walter. I don't know who it was. But our polar magnetic fields are in the process of reversing right now. They think that the North Pole and the South Pole are going to meet somewhere out in the Indian Ocean. And they don't really know what's going to happen when that happens. But they can see that they're kind of headed that way, and they're speeding up as time progresses. Now, not that you can notice. I mean, just by look, kind of like watching a clock. If a clock started speeding up, you wouldn't really notice right off. But if it was going faster, it's going faster. Yeah, there's some interesting, weird, cool. I did it again. Some cool stuff happening right now. I don't know. I hope I live long enough to see it. I hope I live long enough to see it, because it might be really awful. But as a dad, I hope I live long enough to be able to maybe help protect my daughter from it.
Yeah, I don't want to see the end of everything or the stuff that comes before it, but I don't want to. I would really like to be there to, you know, if the last thing I can do for my kids or my grandkids is stop a bullet that had their name on it, I'm good with it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, stop a bullet or hunker down over them while we get roasted from some bizarre weird thing. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, y'all go to. In fact, what is it called? Disaster. Oh yeah, the Earth Catastrophe series.
Yeah, the magnetic north moves all the time, though.
It moves, but it doesn't go as far as it's headed now.
And what we got to worry about is the actual axis moving more than it's supposed to.
That's kind of what they were explaining.
Because if the Earth tilts too far away from the sun, then it's going to get cold.
Exactly.
Well, it'll cold in the north and hot in the south.
Yeah, and the Earth has a wobble to it. The Earth's axis has a wobble, so that they know that it actually kind of moves a little bit, and they're hoping it doesn't throw itself completely off.
And what do you call it? Wind up with Antarctica, parts of Antarctica being habitable. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And
yeah, I mean, Antarctica, they do ice core samples there, and they look down and they figure out it used to be green here.
Yep.
How did that happen?
There's a couple of islands off Antarctica that have reindeer living on them.
Uh-huh.
And so they always make Antarctica sound like this horrible, super cold, nothing can live here place, and then you find out there's herds of reindeer on Antarctica.
Yeah, or at least close, I guess.
Yeah, close to. Well, technically it's Antarctica, but
right.
They took them down there to do something, and then they ate some junk like that. I forget what the story was, but like the camels of Texas.
I don't like when my alarm clock goes off in the morning either. C103. Christy. He said we can say the pole identifies as true north, and that'll be good enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to get scared, there's plenty of stuff to get scared about. So,
I'm going to go to Canada.
I want to go to Canada.
When I get to the border, and they say, "Well, sir, we can't let you in because the border's closed," I'm so I self-identify as Canadian.
Yeah, heck yeah. I identify as Justin Trudeau. Let me in.
I self-identify as a moose. Let me know. Santa took him there as a backup bird. No, there's a real story behind it. There you go. And that the mummified seals on the inland part of Antarctica, what the hell are they doing? You know, why would a seal go that far across the ice just to get to a part of Antarctica that's a desert?
Yeah.
Wasn't always a desert there. That's why.
Yeah, that's why.
So.
It looks like Happy Hare and Cornelius are on the way home.
Kill?
They are. Which means I might need to think about getting off here and getting my shower, because Cornelius has a friend of hers here, and once they get home, I ain't going to see the bathroom again.
What? Well.
Yeah.
All right. Well, yeah.
How far?
Go ahead.
Oh, we're in pretty good. I was wondering how far we were in. We're 2.5 hours in. How about that?
And see, that's it was really surprising when I looked up and checked the time. See, Jeremy said he'd do an hour and a half with us, and then he stayed in for 2 hours.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, and I said, well, whenever you're ready to go, man, just let me know, and it's cool. You can just bounce out. It's your life. Yeah. But I think he's having fun.
Oh yeah, I think so too. He was a great time. He was good. He got a great sense of humor. I'm glad he came on here. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. That's the reason I pay for this freaking thing, is so we can have as many people in here as you know as long as everybody's getting along. I don't want to get a bunch of guys in here and have each other I don't want to get into wars over Chevrolet sucks. No, Ford God. I don't want to do all that all night long. Or there's a couple of live streams. I like the people that host them and stuff like that, but I mean, I talk bad, but at least filter a little bit.
Dior's.
Did Dior show up?
No, but when you said I talk bad, that's who I first thought of. Him. There's him and a couple other guys. They don't have much of a filter sometimes.
Oh no, these people are. They're. I'm thinking this. They can't formulate a sentence without having a curse word in it, and some of them are pretty big ones.
Yeah.
I'll talk. If I talk for 5 or 10 minutes and get excited and something pops out. But when you're just like, 3 words, curse word, 3 words, curse word, 3 words, curse word, you're just like, why are you even talking, dude?
Yeah. Yeah. Not great.
They're not it's not a hot skillet word if you're acting like you're a frog in boiling oil. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, Riley.
Well, Wes, I'm gonna jump off here and go jump in the shower. They are not quite to Anton yet. Oh, dude, I'll share something with you right quick before I go. Somebody ran over the girls' crosses again out there on the highway. I don't know how they do that. They were far enough off the road that shouldn't have happened, but they hit them again, and this time it tore the heck out of them, all of them. So I pulled them all up. So there's no crosses or butterflies at all there now, and that, it's not a big deal, but I got kind of used to seeing them there and kind of whatever, but I don't know, man. The reason that came up is I was about to tell you, they are almost into Anton right now. And so that tells me how much time I've got to go get in the shower and get out before they get here. Yep, they are going through Anton as we speak.
All right. You need to get off of here and get shower and stuff. It's 10:30. I've been I I just allowed myself a nap today, so I'm tired.
Hey,
The doctor's got all kinds of rules and shit. So
just ignore him.
I was doing that, and that was the
Turned out that wasn't a great idea.
best idea I've ever had. So,
Oh, Rachel, you don't have to apologize. It's okay for girls to say those words. Oliver, are you out of here, bud?
Rachel, that's all I'm saying. I mean, but there are people out there that literally cannot speak unless they're doing that.
Yeah.
Steve always talks about how he talks, he's got a real trash mouth. I hang in every one of Steve's live streams. He doesn't cuss that much.
It ain't once in a while he'll get rolling pretty good, but
that's when he's really, really worked up.
Yeah.
And
Okay, I'm going to run out of time here, so I'm going to jump off. It was great to see everybody in the side chat. It really was. It was good. I enjoy seeing what all y'all say, and I appreciate getting to see everybody. Thanks everybody for being here. Thank you for supporting Wes. Wes needs the support. God knows he needs the help.
Yeah, I need the help.
Yeah, but anyway, I'm going to jump off. Wes, I love you, brother.
Love you too,
and hopefully maybe see you in the next couple of days or so.
All right, hug the girls for me.
Shall do.
All right.
All right. Let me find where I get out of here. I got to figure it out. I always have to look for this. It should not be that hard. I don't see it. How do I get out of here? Let me out.
It's in the bottom.
I got it. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Oh, I'm thinking of when I'm doing the stream, and there's that button up in the top right that says "in stream." Yeah. All right. Bye, y'all.
Love you, people. God bless y'all. Y'all stay alive. Do not die. I'm out of here too. See y'all tomorrow night after SOS. Okay. Or maybe earlier if he doesn't go live. But I'll be going live again on Patreon sometime next week. So just pay attention to my community section and it'll give you a heads up. Okay. Love y'all. God bless. Stay alive.